welcome to a virtual author interview at the Newport Beach Public Library. We're so happy that you joined us. I'm Terry Sanchez, Program Specialist, and this interview is made possible by the Friends of the Library. We're super excited today to have guest author Kim Cox with us. Kim is here to discuss her new book, This Is What Blind Looks Like. Kim is a 26-year elementary educator. In addition, she also teaches child development classes at Santa Ana College. She's considered an expert among her colleagues in the education field. She's been married to her husband, Mike, for 25 years, and together they have two daughters, Lauren and Taylor. Kim is here to discuss her new book that just came out, This Is What Blind Looks Like. We've got a copy of it right here, actually. It's part of a series of books called the Warrior Mom series, and these are great teacher tools to help gain awareness and understanding in the classroom and in the community. We're super excited to have you. Thank you for being here, Kim.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
What a pleasure.
So tell us why you wrote this book and how it all came about.
So it came about when I was teaching at Santa Ana College on a Monday night. We have a semester-long class that's all about observations and assessment tools, and every chapter includes a section about special needs children. And so every semester I invite my dear friends who have special needs children, and I try to represent all kinds of different special needs areas. So dyslexia, ADHD, OCD, all kinds of different areas, and physical and emotional disabilities. And so it came about one night when my friend Joan was sharing her story about her daughter with Down syndrome. And every year she would put together a book about her daughter Anya. And she would share pictures of Anya just doing everyday things that the students in the class would do. And it got me thinking, I wrote a letter when Taylor started kindergarten just so that all the families understood who Taylor was and some of the awkward conversations that were going to come up and the questions that the families and the kids would have. And we really wanted to just put it out there and make it a comfortable conversation. So when Joan was sharing her book, I started thinking about the letter we wrote about Taylor in kindergarten and said, we need to write books. And my other friend Michelle took that idea and she ran with it. So the first book in our series was about her son with autism.
Okay.
And so once that book was written, we just kept going with it.
Yeah.
So that's how it started.
That's awesome. So tell us about Taylor, because I didn't really give background on your daughter Taylor. And you wrote your book is This Is What Blind Looks Like. So tell us about Taylor. How old is she? And tell us kind of her everyday life and your journey as a family, what it's like to be the mother of a daughter who's blind.
So Taylor's 17 now. And when she was first born, my husband and I had no idea she was going to have any kind of unique needs at all. So when she was born, we had an hour with her. And then when my husband Mike took her and he was, doing all the things that dads get to do when mom's recovering, he came back and had to share with me the news that Taylor was born without eyes, a super rare condition. And this time is not to talk about all the challenges that went along with that. It was really difficult. But I've gotten to watch Taylor over 17 years blossom into this amazing young lady. I wouldn't change one thing about Taylor having blindness as part of her. That's just a part of who she is. That's not who she is. She's a unique, awesome young lady who happens to be blind. And I've loved learning from my own daughter. I believe she was made exactly the way she was supposed to be. I trust in, we believe in God and trust that He had a big plan in that. And so early on, I knew I was gonna learn a lot from raising a daughter with special needs. And I can't even say what life is like without a child with special needs, because I've met the most amazing people. Taylor's day-to-day living looks a little different than others. We have a 17-year-old daughter with special needs and we have a 19-year-old daughter without any, but I really believe that every child has a unique personality and unique needs of their own. I would not be the wife, I wouldn't be the mom, I wouldn't be the teacher that I am today without having Taylor in my life. So I really think it's a true blessing.
And Taylor's also very active. She's not just sitting around, you know, she's getting involved and she's making a difference in her community.
We really are lucky enough to be supported by a lot of people. We have a great family support system. We've had friends. Terry and I have known each other for a long time. We've had great friends around us. And I really think that because we had all those supports in place, and outside Braille Institute, Blind Children's Learning Center, we've had a lot of community support systems that have really taught us how to get Taylor out there. We knew we could let her wallow and be sad and disappointed about not being like other kids, or we could give her everything we possibly could to make her blossom and give her the tools to do that. And I think what's great about each one of these books is that it starts young, but every one of the kids that's represented in these books, they're all young adults now, and they're thriving as they are, not because of overcoming all these challenges. Our kids wouldn't even see that they have all these challenges. They just see them as opportunities. And it's taught me that that's what I have to do. I can't feel sorry for my own daughter. I can't feel sorry for the kids in my class. I just have to take them where they're at and encourage them to fly on their own.
And then I love that with these books, you're going on the other end too, and not just building tools for your daughter and for kids with special needs, but also helping the community and teachers, educators help us to understand and I guess be more comfortable. One of the things that I love about these books is that oftentimes kids and even adults are just unsure of how to approach or how to talk to someone with special needs or someone that just is different from them. So I love that this opens up just kind of like that permission to be communicative and understand we're all people. We all have our differences. Some are more obvious than others. Is there a certain target, like age grade or grade or age group that you would say?
I would say these books are really geared for that elementary school level. You can go younger, like preschool, and you could even use them, I would say, up through middle school, because we took, each one of the books tells the story of our child through a regular day, and a lot in the classroom, but every book has these different worksheets at the end, at the back, and it's about finding things that are similar, and it's about self-awareness for every child, and it just starts the conversations, and it's not just about children with unique needs. I feel like we've taken that platform and tried to build empathy. Our whole goal is to build empathy and an awareness, and it's just a great conversation starter. I look at some of the activities that are in the backs of these books and think, these are conversations I would want to start with my own daughters. They're conversations I would want to have with my nieces and nephews, with my students, of course. So they're geared more for the preschool to elementary school child, but I can see how they open your eyes to things you wouldn't even think about. Because there are a lot of reflections, self-reflection, and then learning about yourself and how you relate to others.
So tell us a little bit more about the workbooks. Like, are they, so they're for each individual student to just answer on their own about themselves, about?
They're all, every book has different worksheets at the end. And teachers could take them and they could photocopy them, or they could make digital copies and share them with their students. But if you were a parent and you had the book in your own home, you could use it and write all over it, do whatever you wanted to with it. But they're really an opportunity for a child to take what they've learned from the book. We take a page out of the actual reading book, and then we apply a principle to something about either empathy. Taylor's book is filled with things about the senses and Braille. And so every book has the worksheets that are geared specifically to that unique special need. And then there's also more that are a little bit more universal, worksheets that are a little more universal in nature. What would you do in a certain situation? How does it make you feel?
Right.
That kind of thing.
So the books that are available right now in this series.
Yes.
So we've got This Is What Blind Looks Like.
Yes.
2 of those. And then Dyslexia. Autism. This Is What Autism Looks Like. And ADHD.
Yeah.
And then there are some books that are forthcoming as well, right?
There's going to be we're taking a little bit of a break with just trying to focus on what are we doing with these ones, see if there is another need for other books. We would love to get some books about Down syndrome, some of the physical disabilities. Being a teacher, I'm so lucky I get to see all those unique situations. I've had students in wheelchairs. We want to get that, a student with that, and we have a mom who's willing to write that book. I think as we see the needs growing, we'll get a chance to present those books. So we have a couple that look like they'll be coming in the nearer future. But for now, it looks like these are going to kind of sit under the circumstances.
Yes.
What's going on. Yeah.
Very unique circumstances, hence why we are 6 feet apart from each other. Well, that's great. And then how can someone get a hold of these books? How are they
Well,
available?
of course, they'll be at the library. Amazon. We've put them out on Amazon. And I just want to say, I feel like we've called ourselves the Warrior Moms. I'm definitely a proponent of any mom is a warrior mom. We're all on the fight for our own kids. And I really feel like Amazon's given us a great platform to make these books available. And as a mom, as a sister, as an aunt, as a grandma, I would want to have access to books like these. And I'm really excited that we've made them available and they're delivered to your home right away. And I love that we've been able to do that.
Yeah, super convenient, and gotta love Amazon for that.
Yes.
And Kim is right, they will all be available at the library, so if you'd like to take a look at any of them first before purchasing, you'll be able to do that. By the time this video is posted, they should be available, and there may be a wait list, so I would get on it really quick if you could. Yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to share with us about your book?
I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here. I just really feel like in this day and age, we have so many unique needs floating around out there. And I think there's a lot of fear about talking about them. And I think right now, it's the time to get out there and be open and discuss these things with our younger generation. And as a young mom raising Taylor, I remember a lot of people, I can see that look in their eyes of wanting to ask certain questions, but being afraid of not wanting to step on our toes or make us feel uncomfortable. And it was more uncomfortable to see that fear in the mom or the way they were looking at our family. And I just want to say that get out, you can ask. I think that most families with kids with special needs, we want to be asked, and our kids want to be empowered to answer your questions. And so thank you again for giving me the chance to share this as a platform to do just that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here and to share your book and all of the books with us. I'm super excited for our community to know about them. And to get your hands on them. So thank you again. Thank you all for watching and for joining us. And we hope to see you guys all soon, actually in the library one day soon. But until then, keep on checking on our virtual programming page at the Newport Public Library's website, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.